In the meantime, let's get more on that report into who knew what and when about doping in athletics. Joining us is sports journalist Natasha Henry. Hello to you, Natasha. So on the surface, it looked as though it was looking to be pretty bad news for Lord Coe, but we're hearing from Dick Pound, who's the WADA chair, and he's saying that Lord Coe is best placed to lead the IAAF out of these difficulties. What's your take on this?
I agree with Mr. Pound. I think Seb Coe has a reputation as someone who adores athletics. He's given his life to athletics, and I think he, as much as the fans of the sport, want to see it clean, want to see it competitive, and want to get some dignity back into the sport.
But the question mark remains, does it not, as to how much he may or may not have known. He told our own Paul Kelso just yesterday that he knew nothing about the doping, but we've also heard from the committee who are suggesting that it is implausible that the IAAF committee did not know about doping and bungs, not only in Russia but other countries too.
I mean, it's similar to what we've seen in football with Sepp Blatter. There's always going to be questions if someone's part of an organisation and then it turns out they're doing illegal activities. I mean, we cannot say 100% whether he knew or not. I do think he needs to come out and give a full and frank statement about what he knew, what he didn't know, and what he plans to do to make athletics clean again.
OK, so what do we know at this stage? What is crystal clear is that Russians were doping and that some people within the IAAF, high up in the IAAF, were taking money, taking bribes to keep that quiet.
Yes, I mean, it's an awful story. People commit their lives to training. They give up their family time, their education, and it's not like football where they earn lots of money. So to know that you've been competing against people who have been cheating effectively must be really devastating.
Indeed so, but you know, the WADA report saying that the IAAF Leadership Council could not have been unaware of doping and rule breaking. So why then? Well, let's just listen to what Dick Pound has said in support of Seb Coe, and we'll come back to you.
Many of the representations the Commission has received on behalf of the IAAF have attempted to distance the conduct investigated from the IAAF itself. The Commission has been troubled by the apparent unwillingness of the IAAF to acknowledge that the conduct does indeed reflect on the IAAF and that it must assume its responsibilities for what went wrong. It was also apparent to the Commission that the institutional knowledge of the problems with Russia was far wider than has been acknowledged, and that the IAAF had displayed no genuine appetite to deal with the problems.
Enormous amount of reputational recovery to be done, but Dick Pound thinks that Seb Coe is the right person to do that. My goodness me, he has a hill to climb there.
Yeah, I think what we need to remember is Seb Coe is not to blame for the current situation. There's several people who need to take responsibility, and that's anyone who is involved at a management level in the organisation. But I do think that he has just come into the job. We need to give him the opportunity to right the wrongs that have gone on in the past. I don't think there's any benefit to sacking him now to then employ someone else. It's more than likely going to be someone else who was already part of the organisation, and then we'll be having this same conversation again.
OK, good to talk to you. Thanks for joining us.